Hi everyone. Well, we are getting a cold front today in Nebraska, but unfortunately for the central and eastern part of the state, it is not going to be arriving in time. And we are in for a really hot afternoon. Let's take a look at the feels like temperatures. Now, notice because the front is actually going to begin to push in around noon today, how about feels like temperatures around Scottsbluff? Only in the low 90s, then some in the mid 90s, but beginning around North Platte, we're talking about those feels like temperatures in the triple digits. And notice for a lot in the central and eastern part of the state, we're talking about feels like temperatures around 105. Places like Kearney, Grand Island, Lincoln, Omaha. That's what it's going to be feeling like this afternoon. So the front is going to push into places like North Platte, Broken Bow a little bit earlier. So we'll probably top out in the low 100s, but a lot of folks getting to that 105 mark. Now, one thing that'll make it a little bit more tolerable today, everywhere ahead of the front in central and east Nebraska, it is going to be windy this afternoon. Gusts 30, 35 miles per hour in the panhandle behind the front. Just breezy, gusts 20, 25 miles per hour. So at least there'll be some wind around. And we're certainly happy about the cold front coming through, absolutely. But unfortunately, it's coming with a chance for severe storms. So now let's talk about that. But let's first start 8 a.m. this morning. Just to mention, we might see a few showers pop up ahead of the front in the western part of the state, but most of us are going to be dry during the morning hours. So the front itself is going to start to push into the panhandle around noon. So that's why Scottsbluff is going to be one of the coolest places in the state today. And I do think as the activity begins, it is not going to be severe. We're just talking about isolated showers and storms, no severe storms to be found. When the severe threat begins is when that cold front starts to push into that more humid air. So I'm going to begin the threat at 3 o'clock. See those dark shades of red starting to show up, but not much. Look how many are still going to be dry 3 o'clock this afternoon. But it looks like what's going to happen is as we get into the late afternoon, into the evening hours, the activity is going to become more widespread. But as it becomes more widespread, it might also be weakening. So that's the difficulty with this forecast, because our temperatures will be cooling, but it also looks like storms are going to become more widespread. Let me show you what I mean. So here's 3 o'clock. Now 5 o'clock. Even at 5 o'clock, it still looks like isolated activity gaps. But if you get under one of those storms, could there be wind gusts 60 miles per hour, quarter-size hail? Yes, that is a possibility. Now notice when we get to 7 o'clock, talking about scattered showers and storms for the Lincoln, Omaha area. And unfortunately, the severe threat still there. And this is the cold front that is going to be in the Lincoln and Omaha area. So once we get the cold front to clear the state, by about 9 o'clock, that's going to be it for the severe threat. Now, what we are going to see for the rest of the night is isolated showers and storms across the state. But these will not be severe. The cold front will be clear of us. So yes, the rain chance will continue, but there are going to be gaps, and we aren't worried about any more severe storms. So, who has a chance of severe storms from about 3 o'clock this afternoon until 9 o'clock this evening? Not North Platte, but we'll begin the chance around the Kearney area, Grand Island, York, Lincoln, Omaha. The greatest chance probably in the northeastern part of the state. That's what's highlighted by that shade of yellow, mainly because of the timing and the storms becoming a little bit more widespread during the early evening hours. So that's going to be the peak of the activity. But then the cold front's going to clear us. So that's why the greatest threat is actually going to be over in Iowa and Wisconsin. So we're getting a little bit lucky with the timing. And so I think, most likely, all we're going to see, some heavy rain, lightning. In fact, a place like Kearney and Grand Island, not even a guarantee you're going to see rain because the activity is going to start very isolated before it transitions to becoming more scattered. But anywhere in the shade of green or yellow, do have to mention the chance for wind gusts up to 60 miles per hour and perhaps up to quarter-size hail.